Hey everybody, Jay Barino here. Welcome back. It's time for a 2024 channel update. Look, it's been a while since we've done a channel update. I don't do them that often anymore, and you know why? It's because there really aren't that many updates anymore. Okay? And I guess, you know, thesis of the update video, just to get to it right away, is, you know, your boy's feeling, he's feeling old. I'm getting older. I'm going to be 36 this year. And something I've been thinking about for a long time, you know, not just recently, but for a while, is sort of like, you know, when is the right time to stop or start slowing down? Let me just say right away, I'm not stopping, nor am I really planning to slow down right now. But, you know, this year in particular, or rather last year, 2023 in particular, it was a very busy one for me. And, again, I'm getting older. And I think what I used to think was, you know, getting older means that you kind of slow down, you don't have the same mental bandwidth for things. I think that's a little true, but really what it, for me, what I notice is it's a lot less like I can handle less, and more so that just the number of things, just the stuff that requires my attention, and it's not all bad, you know, it's like responsibilities, obligations, sure, but like just, you know, fun trips to take, people to catch up with, people to spend time with. These are all things that, you know, I would include in these that I don't think are like, ugh, obligations, you know. They're things that I want to do. But as I've gotten older, the list expands and expands. It never shrinks. And I think that for me, that's what it's really meant to get older. And as such, I find myself sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes struggling to keep up with this self-imposed, pretty much arbitrary schedule that I have for the channel. So I think maybe this is going to be the year where I start sort of chilling, just in a general sense. But, like, the schedule is only important in the sense that it helps convey to people some consistency around the series that they want to watch. Now, we've reached the point on the channel where we've been in maintenance mode probably for a couple years now, where Warcraft 3 is kind of the main jam of the channel in terms of viewership. And I'm cool with that. I like playing Warcraft 3 quite a bit. It's probably the favorite thing that I play on the channel. It depends on the series, but in a general sense, I like Warcraft 3 the most. Granted, there are still so many things I play in StarCraft that I really like. I really like Starship Troopers. I played a bunch of games that I really liked, but I would say on the most consistent basis, Warcraft 3 draws the most viewers, and it's also my favorite thing to play. So that's something I feel the need to, you know, project some consistency to the viewers on. But other than that, you know, I think, like I said, the schedule is otherwise fairly arbitrary. Like, if the next UED First Light group of missions comes out, it's one of those things where, like, do I have to release it every Monday, or can I just, you know, I'm just going to play it and release it as I play it. Similar to maybe some future series that I really get into. And then there might be times when I just don't have anything that's convenient or appealing to me to play for any of the games that I typically would have scheduled. You know, on Mondays is usually my StarCraft day, but if I just don't have something that I feel fits, or, I mean, there's always stuff to play in StarCraft, but is it something I want to play? And that's kind of what I'm saying, is I think I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, you know what, I've got to stop playing things just to fill the time slots. So I think this perhaps is the year where that might begin, probably will begin. I don't know exactly when or what circumstance, but again, I'm kind of at the point where, you know, if you're someone out there and you want to see me play your thing, you can email me. That's probably the best way to kind of get in the queue of things to be played, but it's not... Basically, I'm only going to play stuff if I if I look at it and I feel like it. I might play stuff off camera just because it's something that I enjoy, but I just don't feel like it makes a good series. You know, again, at the end of the day, what this is just me saying, like, you know, I got a lot going on, and sometimes keeping up with the consistency of the schedule in the face of a lot of real-life obligations is just not as feasible as it was, and it's begun to be a very minor source of stress, and I want to head that off before it becomes worse, and I feel like it inevitably will. I had some pretty major career growth in 2023. My wife and I have made a lot of new friends, which we really enjoy spending time with. We've reconnected with some old friends from high school and college that have just by chance happened to move a little closer to us. And yeah, man, getting older, I just, you know, I did my career growth, or I focused on my career growth in my 20s, and I feel like it's really paying off now. But I'm also at the point in my life where, like, I feel like just a focus on maintaining relationships is so much more important than it used to be. And I have a lot of good friends that I've met online as well that I would, consider in this category. But then further, I feel like I've really had to but I have built the desire to take the action to build friendships in real life. And as you all get older, and maybe people who are close to my age watching this can attest, it's really hard to build new friendships in your late 20s and then your 30s and beyond. It really is. And that's mostly just because you don't really think about this when you're in your mid-20s and you're starting to kind of phase out of this, but you're in positions when you're younger to very easily make friends, because you just are organically put in situations where you're going to be around people that are around your age, and that alone is a huge, huge help in meeting people and building friendships, or people who are kind of similar to you. You build a sense of humor with some people that you meet around that age, very formative years, et cetera, et cetera. And then as you get older, people start moving apart. You start kind of losing those connections, and you think, well, everyone's very busy now. Everyone lives in different places now. People don't text each other as much. We don't talk as much. That happens. That naturally happens. And I've learned, like, you really have to take the action to maintain those relationships and build new ones. Otherwise, it doesn't just happen like it used to. That's neither here nor there, nor it's not a channel update either. But the point being is, I feel like I've been doing a good job touching grass these past several years, and that being said, I think it does have an effect on my ability to meet a very aggressive schedule for the channel. That, again, I don't do this full time. I have a day job, and I think a video every weekday is quite a lot. To be able to meet. And the fact that I've met it this long, I think, is a testament that I can always be proud of. But also, I think now it's time to accept reality and say, you know what, it's okay if that starts to come apart a little bit. Again, that's partly a function of my age and partly just a function of the different things in my life that are taking up, more and more of my time and my ability to schedule freely. In the past, it was always like, well, every weekend I'd have a couple hours I could get some recording in. That's not necessarily the case anymore. It just depends on the time of the year and what's going on with work and what trips we have planned. But again, as I've gotten older, get a more disposable income. We take more trips. We just do more stuff. We do more fun stuff, and I'm glad for that. And again, for a long time, I thought to myself, like, no, we got to keep the schedule consistent. But I think about it more, and I think, like, why? Like, this channel isn't one that's, like, it's not going to explode in growth randomly. My channel is very much, it's like a legacy channel is what I would consider it, right? The channel growth that I did have that got me to the point that I'm at now very much came with old YouTube. And new YouTube requires a very specific strategies to grow. And I would say we have some friends of the channel that are very, very skilled at making videos, being likable, and also capitalizing on what YouTube asks for. Again, like Grant is a great example of someone who, like, I wish well, but he doesn't need well wishes because he is incredibly talented at what he does. Like, not only does he make good content, but that's only half the battle. The other half is, like, you got to play the YouTube game. And you always had to, but it's different now than it used to be. And when you have a legacy channel with a bunch of legacy dead subscriptions like I do, what happens is when I make videos, it goes to these subscription feeds of people who will never click them anymore. And that hurts my channel analytics, which stops my videos from propagating as organically as some newer channels might. That being said, again, it's a combination of, like, you need to like focus on your content, but that's part of it. You also need to kind of play that game. So not only do I feel like I'm already sort of disqualified from the game regardless of the content that I make, I also never have really chosen to make content that fits, growth. We're playing these niche games from decades ago, and it's really just kind of keeping alive some enjoyment that I've had from them since when I was younger. But recently, we've also been playing some new and cool stuff. Or not necessarily new, old stuff, but I've never played before. But then also new stuff like Starship Troopers. I've been recommended to play Spellforce, which I look forward to getting into soon. I'm also going to be revisiting Dawn of War 2 to finish the Retribution DLC with Shardundred, because we never finished that last DLC, so we're going to be getting to that next time as well. Anywho, you know, just sort of been rambling about all sorts of stuff, but this is the 2024 update. I guess I'm not really sure how this can come across. I don't know if it's like, if it seems like I'm like being a downer, but I guess that was part of it. I was always a little self-conscious of like, how do I convey, like, you know what? It's time to just admit, like, it's catching up with me, and I can't do it anymore. And I don't expect anyone to be like, how dare you? In fact, I expect the main response to be like, oh, don't worry about it. It's more just something that this has been self-imposed, you know, on myself. And sort of, you know, just sort of admitting it to myself. It's just been such a routine of mine. It's hard no matter what it is when you're in a routine like I have been with this channel. It's kind of hard to... It's kind of hard to break free of that, even though that's for the best right now, right? I think if this was maybe 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to say, you know what, either we start rolling back a little bit, or we start thinking about what big changes we can make. But it's not 5 years ago. And again, I'm starting to feel a little older, you know, more health-related concerns for myself and for the people around me, and my loved ones, my parents, and et cetera, that it's time to just say, you know what, this means that it's time to start chilling a little bit more. And that's cool. I know everyone watching knows that that's cool as well, but I just figured it's time to say it out loud, and I'm kind of happy to do it. It's a bit of a relief. But again, what does that realistically mean? Right now, nothing. But basically, when I'm making videos and I get to a week where it's like, you know what, trying to figure out what to play next, trying to figure out what to do next and make new thumbnails for a new series, and I have to be like a month ahead because I've got a big trip coming up, or I've got something really important for work that's going to keep me busy. That's just got to be a week where I'm like, I'm just not making videos this week, or at the I'll prioritize the Warcraft videos because that's what, you know, again, I think the majority of viewers know is a consistent thing. And that's also being said, this all means like, again, I don't want to say like all promises are null and void, but basically, you know, just because you message me about a project you're working on doesn't mean I'm going to play it. It's just going to depend. It's really going to depend. I generally will play the campaigns of my friends, who I am close with, usually because those are things that I know that I enjoy, and I know those people very well. But again, if you're someone else out there, you can email me, or you could try messaging on my Discord server to at least make me aware of what you're working on, and that's probably your best bet. Okay, I mean, and this doesn't necessarily mean, again, less content per se, but it might just mean less kind of blah content, for lack of a better term. I hate to put it that way, but there are some times I feel like I'm recording just to fill the slot, and I think that's it's time to move on from that. And how that materializes, we will see over the coming months. But hey, I appreciate your support as usual. Channel's keeping on. I maintain making videos for personal reasons. I would still do it at this point. I would still record myself doing stuff even if I didn't upload it. But even when I upload it, if no one was watching it, I would still do it. Because, again, I find a certain type of fulfillment to it that is a bit hard to explain. And I guess right now is not the time to do it because this has already dragged on for a bit too long. But, you know, I have reasons that I enjoy doing this, and I will continue to do it as time goes on. But hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you all, especially the Jay Barrino members that have supported me throughout the years, and those current members especially who really enjoy the type of content I'm putting out. I appreciate you, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.